My name's Richard Tugume Tuliahikayo, founder and CEO of the Practitioners of Contemporary Philosophy Limited. One of my most favorite philosophy stories is one out of India. A story is told about 6 blind men who went out to see the elephant, and each of them touched different parts of the elephant and tried to give a description of what they thought was the elephant. This famous legend was further best, in my opinion, encapsulated by a famous American poet called John Godfrey Saxe, written in 1872. And the poem goes in the first stanza that it was the 6 men of Hindustan, to learning much inclined, who went to see the elephant, though all of them were blind, so that each by their imagination could satisfy their mind. And so the next 6 stanzas were about the different descriptions each of the 6 men had, each of the 6 blind men had. And so the first blind man, who touched the tusks of the elephant, said his conclusion was that the elephant was very like a spear. The second blind man that touched the trunk said the elephant is very like a snake. The third blind man that touched the leg said the elephant is very like a tree. The fourth blind man who touched, the body of the elephant said that the elephant is very like a wall. The fifth one who touched the tail said the elephant is very like a rope. And the sixth and last blind man who touched the ear said the elephant is very like a fan. And so these men of Hindustan disputed loud and long, each with an opinion exceeding stiff and strong, each of them partially right and all of them in the wrong. And then the last stanza that summarizes the moral of the poem goes, and so oft in theologic wars, to the disputants I win, rail on in utter ignorance about what each other mean, and prate about an elephant not one of them has seen. And so for me, this famous poem is a major anchor in the founding story of the Practitioners of Contemporary Philosophy, because it's an opportunity for me, as a professional who has worked for now 22 years and counting, in places as various as PricewaterhouseCoopers, TechnoServe Uganda, Kili Cafe, a coffee cooperative in Tanzania, Root Capital, a US-based impact investment fund, where I worked in 5 countries in the region that included Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and the DRC, as well as another impact fund called Yunus Social Business Foundation, for which I'm a consultant there, working as the country director, where we are lending funds to social businesses across various industries. That experience for me is an opportunity to share my different parts of the elephant I have touched in those 22 years and counting, so that I am able to bring value to others that haven't necessarily yet experienced those parts of that elephant. In this elephant-based poem, the understanding here is that the elephant was used those many centuries ago as a natural and easier example to illustrate what the world is about. The elephant is reputed to be the world's biggest or largest land mammal, which you could draw parallels with as the earth on which we live, and that we as human beings have a limited ability to travel and understand and deal with all parts of the earth in terms of their culture, in terms of the professions, in terms of the livelihoods, and various other aspects that are involved with, the modern world in which we live. The farm was founded in mid-2019. The specific trigger of its founding was my personal assessment of my 14 years of impact investment experience, where I analyzed all the loans I had underwritten, dispersed, and managed in that period across 5 countries, across 14 value chains, across 4 sectors. And what my assessment interestingly revealed was that all the loans that had gone into default, none of them had failed because on the basis of what we were trying to solve, which was a lack of adequate financing for these borrowers, a lack of appropriate structuring of their facilities, and thirdly, a lack of sufficient traditional technical competence, which involves things like internal controls, financial management, etc. The revelation showed that they all failed solely on the basis of 2 things. Mainly a lack of values, which include integrity, transparency, and prudence. And secondly, another major segment failed as a result of 2 things. One was a lack of basic soft skills like problem solving, negotiation, and communication, as well as a lack of good values. Good values, especially integrity and transparency. And related to that as well, the same review of all my loans in the last 14 years showed that the most successful ones, one of which, or the best of which, is SCPCU, that you will be seeing in detail as part of this whole presentation, and others like GADC, which is a cotton exporting company out of Gulu in northern Uganda, and others like Giakanja, a cooperative in Kenya, and others like Sopakdi, Kawamaber, and Mongano, which are all coffee cooperatives in the DRC. These all succeeded as a result of the reverse of why the others failed. And this was the espousing of good values, key of which again is the integrity, and transparency, as well as others like prudence, foresight, humility, and compassion.
I'm John Wagawa, the General Manager of Akore Coffee Producers Cooperative Union. Mr. Richard Tugume, who, as you have already known, has been part of our journey of development from 2008 and has informed me that he has started a consulting firm called Practitioners of Contemporary Philosophy, which in summary is designed to leverage his positive experience of the importance of soft skills and values in organizations like ACPCU to create sustainable success. He has actually designed a curriculum for training organizations like ours and others to strengthen their soft skills and values as foundation for business success, which we agree with and give our blessings based on our story as a practical example. Akore Coffee Producers Cooperative Union was started by 10 primary cooperative societies with 3,500 farmers, and it was registered in 2006. We opened the business in 2008, but unfortunately we had a small working capital of about $905, and we also had few assets worth about $780. So given that small capital base, we found it hard to do big business, yet the dream of the farmers was to enter into the international market. So we asked farmers to bring coffee on credit. Even when they delivered coffee on credit, we found we had logistical problems in processing and marketing the coffee. So the decision was to look for resources. We tried to look for resources through the national banks because we had just started. They said we are not credible, we don't have credit history. We tried also microfinance, still they could also not lend to us. They thought we were again not credible enough. And then eventually, through the market connection, because we had the market connection in the industry, we were able to get linked to Root Capital, which was based in Nairobi. After their telephone call, we agreed that they send Mr. Richard Tugume to come and do the due diligence. In the due diligence, Richard established that actually we had a good network of farmers. We also had a credible buyer at that time in the names of Twin Trading. And also, he looked at our character. We had the character, and also we had that industrial experience in the coffee industry for a number of years, and those put together enabled Root Capital to take a decision to fund us. At the time they funded us, we only had 3 workers, namely Stanley, Manaragawa, John Wagawa, and Pedna. And because of limited funds, we agreed that they will work as volunteers. After we had received funding from Root Capital of $112,000, we are able to move our coffee to a processor in Kampala. We processed the coffee and we were able to ship it. I remember in that financial year, which we started with almost nothing, we were able to end up with a sales turnover of about $460,000. And then from that now beginning, we started getting more strength. And on our business model, in order to add value to members' coffee, we decided we must differentiate our product. How do we differentiate it? We decided that we must go organic. By then there was a scarcity of organic coffee on the market. Secondly, we agreed that we must get fair trade certified because fair trade was making many assurances. They guarantee minimum price. And also, thirdly, we wanted to make sure we do a fine robusta so that they can give us a leverage in the market. In the following years, we started increasing the number of staff, and as I speak today, we have almost 86 full-time staff, and we have over 200 casual workers. Apart from that, we have been able to grow our business from the first turnover in the first year of $460,000. Currently, our turnover in terms of sales is $6.5 million. We ship about 50,300 bags to the international market. And we also have other certifications. Apart from fair trade, we are now rainforest certified. We are also, in this year, we got ISO 22000 certification. We also got Uganda National Bureau of Standards certifications. All those certifications help us to differentiate our product in the international market. In fact, after the initial funding by Root Capital, it made our organization look more credible, because when they didn't only stop at funding us, but they found we didn't have a system, we didn't have strong internal controls, we didn't have something that would make us strong as a business. What Root Capital did was to train us, equip us, and make us strong, and from there we never looked back. In fact, in the subsequent years, we went for other cheaper funders, and we, at a certain point when our demand for funds was high, again we went back to Root Capital, but also we maintained other credible funders for SCPCU. Along the journey, we have also done other developments. Through trading, we have been able to build our own working capital. As I speak, our working capital is more than $3 million, which we own as an organization. Secondly, we have also built our equity from the small one of 925. Now we have a current equity of about $10.3 million. We have also increased our fixed assets from almost $709 to $5.4 million. We had a small storage of about 40 square meters, which we were outsourcing. But currently we have our own storage, which we own as an organization. We have put up storage of up to 5,450 square meters, which can keep up to 5,000 metric tons of coffee. And also we have done other community work. We have a clinic which serves the community. We have done a scholarship scheme for students from our members. We have undertaken school projects where many classrooms have been built. And also we have tackled issues of climate change. So we are not only in business, but also we are about our community. We are about sustainability. We are about adding value. We are about the transformation of our farmer from a peasant farmer to a commercial farmer. And that's the journey we shall continue to pursue. But all that is because we are in an industry where we deal with ESCO lenders who have helped us to strengthen our business. But above all, to be successful, there must be character, there must be endurance, there must be sustainability, and you must avoid things that take away resources from the organization. You must avoid things that derail the organization, and you must keep a winning team to make sure your organization is successful. So we thank the funders, we thank for social lenders who have made a difference from the traditional lenders who base themselves on assets, who make themselves decide based on historical things that no longer mean business. We need these ESCO funders because for them, they know what business is and they are able to take quick decisions, and that's what has enabled Ankole Coffee producers to keep growing, and we hope to keep growing with them and get stronger and stronger and make our farmers richer and richer. In the process of expanding our business around 2013, we found our business was growing, but we were outsourcing the processing, especially the handling of our coffee and the grading. Now we thought it was prudent that we have our own grading plant, because we are using those of multinationals who also were grading their coffee, and that was delaying our shipment. So SCPCU, in partnership with the other players in the industry, we are able to acquire our own machinery with a capacity of 2.5 metric tons per hour, and now we are able to process our coffee in our own factory. Secondly, we found there was a big demand for our coffee, so we started attending international exhibitions looking for more buyers. As I speak, we have more than 10 international buyers who buy our coffee. Apart from that, we found it was prudent that also we upgrade the quality of our coffee, because at some point we are getting complaints. So we have built a modern lab. We are able to do the cupping. We are able to test for all the parameters, and that has helped us to transform our coffee. Because when we started, we say we are struggling, we are striving for excellence. But now, as I speak, we say we value excellence. Now we are building ACPC as a center of Robusta excellence. And we are well known in the country. We have received awards from UCDA as the best exporter of high quality Robusta, and our Robusta coffee is going to the high-end markets in Europe and world over. We have also still found it is prudent to expand our storage using modern technology and the modern storage facilities. That's why we have come up with silos. These silos store up to 1,600 metric tons, and they are well equipped with heaters, with meters to check to make sure the quality of the coffee is maintained very well in those silos. Apart from building ourselves as a center of excellence, we have also given synergies to other players in the industry, like the young cooperatives. We have done shipping logistics for Chibinge, for Bukonzo, and other cooperatives. And we taught them, now they are also able to export on their own. But above all, we have been recognized by the Uganda coffee industry, and now for the last 3 years I've been a director at Uganda Coffee Development Authority. I'm also the chair of Uganda Coffee Network under Fair Trade. I'm also a representative of the Uganda Fair Trade Network to African Fair Trade Network, and I'm also a member of Uganda Coffee Federation. So those platforms give us synergies, but also help us to guide other small cooperatives that are coming up. Actually, we are using the model of the Redwood at Square. Redwood in America They are big trees, they don't have tap roots, and their energy and strength lies in the linkage of roots. And when roots of different redwood trees meet, they interlock and they are able to survive. And that's the model we are building our organization to link with other cooperatives. We give each other synergies so that we can be able to be sustainable and also to build resilient organization. First, we attribute our success to something in the Bible, Genesis 22:14. It's about Yahweh Jireh. Yahweh Jireh. It's in Jewish, Yahweh Jireh. What does it mean? It means God provides. So for us, we think some of the achievements, all our achievements, first and foremost, God provided for us and continues to provide for us. Secondly, we attribute our biggest achievement, one, to good leadership. As Ankole Coffee, we have been able to have leaders come in and go. We have had the first founding board. It reached a point, it retired. We got the second board, it came and retired. Now we have the third board, and we have not had conflict in the process of electing these leaders. So we hope if we maintain this kind of leadership, then it will help SCPC to keep growing. The second aspect has been on internal controls. The moment we started growing our system, we quickly introduced Pastel, a very good accounting package, and it helped us to strengthen our internal controls. And again, we make sure we use accreditable external auditors who cannot be compromised, so that whatever their findings, they have helped us to improve our business and make it more successful. The other aspect is the strong ethical values. The values we hold is that we want SCPC to remain a center of excellence. And you can't be excellent unless you work towards that excellence. We have also been building a winning team. There is no internal wrangles among staff. Also, we have built a value of high level of integrity. We have built a resilient team so that it is able to build a resilient organization. We have been patient. When we started from shipping only a few bags to the current bags we ship, it has been a process of 13 years of great patience. We have been prudent. We are like in the lion mode. We believe everything is achievable, and we take every opportunity that comes to us. We don't miss it. We go to certifications, all kinds of certifications. We make sure we are compliant with the certifications. And then we also built an element of foresight. We thought as an up-country based organization, we need big storage, and we have been able to set up enough storage so that we can store all our coffee up-country and also plan ahead. That's why every year we try to look for new buyers to add on the lot we already have. And then this has enabled us to have a long-term view of business and the trend. And we think if we maintain that mode, if we maintain that focus, then SCPC cannot go silent.
So talking about the Ankole Coffee Producers Cooperative Union as an example that encapsulates what we are about. And like as you may have already heard from the founding general manager himself, I first interacted with this organization in July of 2008. And at that point, they were a very tiny organization in regards to traditional aspects like their balance sheet and their income statement, where sales were zero, fixed assets were less than $1,000, working capital was less than $1,000. And so my call at that time to have a loan facility approved for their work solely depended on my basic research and intuition around their character and reputation in the industry and as individuals. And long story short, they lived up to their promise and exceeded my personal expectations. Because from a very, very tiny seed, way back in 2008, they have grown into this giant tree that is now serving more than 14,000 farmers across more than 10 districts, and serving an entire economy of their own. And so the idea here is to use these examples to build a more structured and designed approach that would then be able to seek out, interact with, mentor all similar organizations like SCPCU and others that may be in a state that SCPCU was in about 13 years ago now, to help them realize their maximum potential. These values and soft skills, in my view, based on my experience and with the benefit of hindsight, as an example of sharing the various parts of the elephant that I have personally touched and been exposed to, I believe should be the foundation upon which all the other interventions, especially those being done by the impact investment funds in the various sectors, so that the benefit, the maximum benefit of building sustainable and resilient entities can be achieved. I also personally found some validation about the founding of this firm, the Practitioners of Contemporary Philosophy, in the Bible as well. Quoting from the New International Version of the Bible, under 1 Kings chapter 3, 9 to 12, there is a story about King Solomon, who early in his kingship, having succeeded his father, King David, he was asked by God to make a wish of whatever God could give him. And in those verses, King Solomon makes his wish, asking God to give him abundant wisdom. And God replies to him about that wish, saying he was so pleased with King Solomon about that wish, which he said he had made over and above wishing for wealth and all these other things, And he goes on to say, God goes on to say that having wisdom as a king will help him differentiate between right and wrong, so that he is able to best dispense justice. And so for us, as part of our philosophical anchoring as well, we believe that the more human wisdom is applied to solve our contemporary challenges, the more social justice and human justice will be dispensed to humanity across the world. So as the practitioners of contemporary philosophy, our mission statement is harnessing human wisdom to secure our sustainable strategic prosperity. And our vision is a world where the human race is philosophically integrated and enjoying sustainable strategic prosperity.